हर हर शंकर सांब सदा शिव ईशा महेशा हर हर शंकर सांब सदा शिव ईशा महेशा तांडव प्रिय हर चंद्र कलाधर तांडव प्रिय हर चंद्र कलाधर ईशा महेशा अम्बासुदलम्बोदरवन्दित अम्बासुदलम्बोदरवन्दित ईशा महेशा तुंग हिमाचल शृंग विराजित तुंग हिमाचल शृंग विराजित ईशा महेशा हर हर शंकर सांब सदा शिव ईशा महेशा ईशा महेशा जगदीशा महेशा Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadashivasamarambham Sankaracharya madhyamam Asmadacharya paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Narayanam Padmabhavam Vasishtam Shaktim cha Tatputra Parasharam cha Vyasam Shukam Gaudapadam Mahantam Govinda Yogindra Matasya Sishyam Shri Sankaracharya Matasya Padma Padam cha Hastamalakam cha Shishyam Tam Todakam Vartikaaramanyan Asmadgurun Santatamanatosmi Shruti Smriti Purananamalayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Kalabhyam Chudalam Krudashashikalambyam Nijatapaha Palabhyam Bhakteshu Prakatitapalabhyam Bhavatu Me Shivabhyam Astoka Tribhuvana Shivabhyam Hridi Punaha Bhavabhyam Ananda Spuradhanubhavabhyam Natiriyam Ankulam Nijavida Santadirayaskatu Palam Suchika Sadvinaija Vibhum Ratakshitiruham Sindhu Saritvallavam Prapnoti Hayata Tata Pashupate Padaravindatvayam Cheto Vrittirupetya Tishtati Sada Sa Bhaktirityuchyate Nalamba Paramopakarakamitam Tvekam Pashunam Pate Pashyan Kukshikatan Characharaganahan Bahyastitan Rakshitum Sarvamatyapalayano Shadamadijvalakaram Vikaram Nikshiptam Garnam Galena Gahitam Nodginameva Tvaya. Who else other than Bhagavan Shiva who qualifies to be my Lord? Because we always remember the one who had. He is also saluting to me. Who else other than whom we remember most fondly? Those who really help us, especially when we are in trouble. Paropakarakam. He the one, Paropakaram Karoti, the Paropakarakah. So Paropakaram idam Pashunam Pate Pashyan. What did he do? When he saw the Hala Visha, when it is coming to destroy everyone, within himself is the entire universe of all living beings. In fact, we are all living in the body of God. Now you may wonder, how is that possible, right? Do you? If you don't wonder, I don't need to tell you. Do you wonder? Do you know that how many jantus are living in you? Millions of them are sitting inside you, in the guts. In the entire body, if you look at it, how many of these small jantus, living beings are living inside you, in your body? That is why when our physical body dies, we become annam to all the other living beings. We are both annam and we are also annadaha. Annam atti idi annadaha. We eat food, but we are also food. Ahamannam, 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 ahamannado, ahamannado, ahamannada. So we are also food for all the living beings which are out inside us. And when the body is buried in the earth or under the earth, immediately the whole gang of all others come and eat us, our body. So, if we understand that so many jantus are living inside our body, we are also living inside Bhagavan's body. That's what Bhagavan Krishna showed, right? In Vishwarupa Darshanam, he said, everybody is in me. Everyone is within my body only. He says to Krishna Arjuna that you will see everything in my dehe, mama dehe, pashya. In my body alone you will see the entire creation. Sun and the moon are his eyes. Sarvada pani padam yat sarvadokshishiro mukam sarvadasruti malloke sarvamavritya tishtati. All hands, all legs, all eyes, all mouths are his. This is a grand vision of who the God is. God is not a person. It's personification. The entire creation is nothing but his own expression. So if we can understand that, Bhagavan Shiva was very concerned that this entire creation is going to be destroyed by this terrible poison, Bhikaram. So he did not consume it to destroy them, nor he vomited to destroy everything else outside. Galena galitam na utkirnameva tvaya. Not even that you destroyed anyone, either by consuming or by throwing out. So such is the great Lord. Now, what is the qualification of a bhakta? What should we do to become devotee of God? So what we saw that what is devotion, right? Ankolam nijavita santadirayaskanto palam sochika satvina ijavivam latakshitirutam sindhu saripallapam prapnoti yada tada pashupate padaravindatvayam cheto vrittirupetya tishtati sada sa bhaktiruchyate. Devotion is constant remembrance of the Lord. Now, who qualifies to be that? In Vedanta, we say, who is a qualified student? One who has sadhana chatushtaya. That is viveka vairagya shat sampattihi mumukshutvam iti. In these four, there is no bhakti involved. You see that? Shama, Dhamma, Praditi, Tiksha, Shraddha, Samadha. It is said by Bhagavan Sankaracharya himself that among these various qualifications we have for the sake of moksha, moksha sadhana samakriyam bhakti reva gariyasi. Among the all qualification to be a Vedanta student, devotion is highest. If one has devotion to God, all others will fall in place. Viveka, Vairagya, Shama, Dhamma, Uparati, Tidiksha, Shraddha, Samadhana, Mumukshutva. When we have love for God, what does it mean? It not, as I said yesterday, admiration, glorification, and not that. A real love, Gurudev would say, love is intensified by identification. A mother looking at her own child, considering the child has her own being, she feeds and takes care of the child because of the strong identification. It is my child. Is it not? Because the child was there in the womb of the mother for so long, when the child comes to be born, she considers that as my own extension. Only when the child becomes teenager, it's an extra attention. It's my own extension. You know, what is my love with my hand? Tell me. Do I love it or not? Why? Because it's me. And do I discriminate between this hand and this hand? This is also me. So, if the devotee comes to identify with the Lord in that way, it is the identification, the degree of identification that determines the degree of devotion. This is number one, first factor. The second is how much sacrifice that person ready to do for that other person. How much one is ready to let go of one's comforts to accommodate the other person. That also shows how much love a person has. So sacrifice is also important. And sacrifice shows how much you love the other person. The third one is obviously how much that person is in your mind. Once in a while I remember Baba. Then you don't have much love. Other than Bhagavan, I cannot think of anything else. This is the nature of a devotee. Yasya vismaranam maranam. Yasya vismaranam. Not remembering the Lord for a devotee's death. Devotee feels I am dead if I don't remember God. Look at Prahlad. He just cannot breathe the next moment without thinking about God. So for him, not to say Bhagavan's name is a torture. For him, to say the Bhagavan's name is a torture. We have to remember God. It's another task for us. So, three factors: identification, sacrifice, remembrance. That qualifies a devotee. Any other thing you read in this world, various other knowledge, various other qualifications, scholarliness, skills, abilities, name, power, position, everything. But if you do not have this devotion to God, all other things which you may have, but that doesn't help you when you face death. When you are facing uncertainties of life, uncertainties of life does not mean only end of life. In everyday uncertainties of life also are there. Every change brings uncertainty, insecurity, fear. Because what we don't expect when it comes, it's called uncertainty. How do you face it? With what heart you face it? What strength of the heart you face it? Do you accept that situation when you can't avoid? What gives you that strength to accept? Then many times we find these, especially the generation which does not have any faith in God, etc., when they come to face uncertainties and they think they can win over everything in this world, when they cannot, they become depressed and dejected and becomes addicted to things. Why? They can't face it. So devotion to the Lord really saves us, whether you are living or dead. So here we see a beautiful verse number 5 in the next verse. Smrutau shastre vaidye shakuna kavita gana panidhana panitau Purane mantre va Stuti natana hasye shvachaturah Katam rajñam pirdihi Bhavati mayi koham pashupate Pashum mam sarvajña Pratita kripaya palaya vibho Smrto shastre vaidye shakuna kavita gana panito Purane mantre va stuti natana hasye shvachaturah Kadam rajñam pritir bhavati mayi koham pashupate Pashum mam sarvajña pratita kripaya palaya vibho. Last line is He Pashunam Pate Pashupate Mam Palaya He Vibho, please protect me. How? Pratita Kripaya, with your well-known compassion. With your well-known compassion, may you please protect me. Because Aham Achaturah. I am not at all qualified for anything else. What are the things that I get qualified for? Because in this world, people recognize only when you have some amount of skill in something. Especially in the past, when the king has to take care of anybody or to give gifts and everything, only when you are proving yourselves an excellent in some field. What are the fields? I mean, we are talking about in the past. In the ancient days, the kings would give a lot of gifts and honor to those people who are good at smrutau, in these smritis, shastra. Smrutau shastre, in the smriti. A smriti means those scriptures which are written by historical human beings. And when you are become adept in explaining it, so those people are honored by the king. Or Shastra. There are so many Shastras are there. Shastra means documents which are about a particular skill. In general, Shastra we use as scripture. But Shastra means like we have Artha Shastra, Vaidya Shastra, Dhanush Shastra, Shilpa Shastra, Natana Shastra. So many of them are there. They are all considered as documents which explain the skill or the technical aspects of any particular field. Smrutau Shastre Vaidye in the medicine. Shaguna Kavita or in the poetry in augments, augury, about how to compose poetry, how to use the chandas, how to use the wordplay. These are all Shaguna. And Kavita, poetic skills. Gana, singing. Fanita means in grammar rules. Purani, in the old ancient Puranas. Mantre or various chants. The ritualists are very, very adept in that. Va, stuti in praise. Natana, dance. Hasya, in comedy or stand-up comedy. Hasyeshu, or even we can say it's a drama. Hasyeshu achatura. I don't know any one of this. Therefore, katam, how rajnyam mai priti bhavati. How can a king will ever honor me? Meaning I am rejected. I am rejected by the king and rejected by the society because I am good for nothing. Koham Pashubhate, how do I live in this world? See, in the case of Valmiki also, if you remember, he was a soldier. He was a soldier of a high rank. But he was standing up to a noble principle when the king had or the administration had asked him to go and attack the enemies for the mere purpose of greed. Not that the enemy came to threaten them, but go and attack. And that way, when he was asked to do, he being the commander general, he said, I won't do it because this is not moral on our part to do it. So the king had dismissed him, saying that you are useless, get out. You are not going to be army general anymore. So he retired to the forest and he does not have any other skill. So what did he do? Loot. You know the story about him. He was not a wrong person or he was not a thief by birth, but he was not a thief, he was a chief. The chief became thief because he was not honored by the king, and so he turned out to become a dacoit, only to be later on transformed into a great saint by Narada. So here he says, I don't know anything. Smrute Shastre Vaidye Shakuna Kavita Gana Panito Purane Mantreva Stuti Natana Hasyeshu Achatura Katam Rajyam Pritir Bhavati Mayikoham Pashupate. Who am I then? Therefore, when a person, see, this is the case of a person who doesn't know anything. So he goes to Bhagavan and said, so who will protect me if I don't have anything in my own skill? Alright. In our case, we may have learned many things, engineering or medicine or management or finance or so many other things. Even we should not become too proud of what we know. Because when we become too proud, what happens is, somebody who is more learned than us, more skillful than us will overtake us. Bhoge rogabayam kule judipayam vitte drupalabayam. Bhartrahari, he says that anyone in any skill will be overtaken by the next generation or somebody else who is more smart than you. I am coming from Hollywood, right? And you will find many of those big celebrities who have been flying high, When their market is no more, either physically they have become unable or they are not incapable, or their charms are gone, their youthfulness is gone, then when some next generation takes over or somebody else, they get so depressed. How many of them you've seen? Is it true? Those who are high flying, so much of celebrity status, anywhere they go, hundreds of fans, hundreds of fans. Then one day suddenly committed suicide. What happened? Why? Has it helped? Mate dana jana yauvana garvam arati nimesha kala sarvam. Don't be proud about what? Ma kuru dana jana yauvana garvam. Don't be proud about the number of people who are praising you, or your wealth that you have, or even your own youthfulness. Within no time it will go away. Harati nimesha kala sarvam maya mayanikam idam akilam bhutva brahmapadam tvam pravisha viditva. So don't be proud. So those who do not have anything also, he says, he addresses Bhagavan as what? Pashunam pati. Interesting thing, the very word Pashu and Manushya, you should understand the difference. Mananat Manushya. Why human beings are called human being? You know that? Because human means you have man. मन है तो ह्यूमन है. Mananat Manushya, because we have the ability to think, that way we are all called human. Whereas all other living beings are those which go by what they perceive and not what they think. Let us say that you have a dog at home or a cat. Did they come with you to satsang? Huh? Why did you bring? You're not allowed to. You know, it so happened once Gurudev was giving the Gita lectures in PRC. And, it's contextually you understand. He made that in this video talk itself. Two members who were attending, they started to fight for some flimsy thing. And Gurudev said, this is the exit door, you get out. No more you stay in the camp. Because it's some very, very trivial things. They started to fight and make a big, scene about it. He said, you are not fit to go. He was very strict about it. And the following day, he was giving a talk and said, people who are coming to listen to Bhagavad Gita and Upanishad and such talks, they should improve. They should look within, observe, understand, do better. If there is a dog sitting here in my satsang, and I am giving talks on Bhagavad Gita to all, including to the dog also, right? Does it understand a word of what I am saying? Huh? Do you think it will become a better dog by listening to me? It will go by its instincts only. Because it does not have the ability to think, change or understand and change to become better. That is not there in their whole system itself. They are called Pashus. Pashyati iti Pashuhu. Merely go by perception, instinct based. Whereas human beings are those who have man, meaning what they perceive, they think, whether it's correct or not, whether it's useful or not, whether it is acceptable or not, I understand. Then only they proceed on that. That's why they have human development. So he said, there are two people who were there in the camp, they were equal to that. He is equal to the dog. absolutely no thinking. But Bhagavan here is addressed as Pashunam Pati. You are not only human, you are not only the God or the Lord of the God, the human beings, but you are Bhagavan for all living beings. Majority are Pashus only in this universe. From the standpoint of God, Bhagavan, we are also Pashus only. And it is interestingly observed. So in Bhagavad Gita, you may find in 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita, what Bhagavan says is, Devan bhavayata anena te deva bhavayantuvaha parasparam bhavayantaha shreya paramavapsyata. That means you worship gods through your self-effort, and those gods who are worshipped are going to give you the benefits. So when we do any ritual, Vedic rituals when we are doing, actually when you invoke a particular deity, Vedic deity in that ritual through the offering into the fire, you are actually making that position of the god strong. The more people worship the God through rituals, the greater will be his strength. It is like our local congressman. The more you vote for him, the stronger he will become. Correct? So, number of people worshipping the God in a ritual will make his position strong. And when his position is strong, he gets more power. And what does he do with that power? He will distribute wealth to the people who are worshipping him, so that they worship more. That's what is called. Devan bhavayata anena te deva bhavayantuvaha parasparam bhavayanta. When you worship the God, they are strong and they will give you what you want. When they give you what you want, what do? You worship more. In other words, let us say that you have a farm. Here, you bought a farm. And you have some, you're growing some corns or something. And nowadays we don't use the animals for doing the, plowing and other things. In the past they were using it. So the bullocks and other things that are used for plowing the land, etc. Don't you feed them? Do you or not? So that they become strong. And then what do you do with them? Use them for plowing the land. And the whole day they will do all that. At the end of the day they become tired. You take them to their shed and then give them more food. Give them rest, water, etc. Next day again do. In the same way, for the Devatas we are Pashus. Think. Devatas feed us so that we serve them. The prosperity that they give is only for making them strong. Therefore, we are also Pashus only. For Devatas. This is said in Chandogya Upanishad. So, Pashunam Pati means God of all of us. So, he says, O Lord, the God of all animals, all beings, I don't have any skills that can be recognized by the king. So, I can only do one thing. What? I surrender to you. So, first qualification for a devotee is not to become proud of who you are. Think. You may be anybody. But you understand all that you are able to get, whatever you got, is from this very world only, which is created by Bhagavan. Even if a scientist said, he discovered something, or you discovered something from this world only, in this very world only, everything was already there. Gurudev used to say, when Newton discovered the law of gravitation, before he discovered it was not there. Yes or no? Is Newton created the law? Or he revealed that law? It was already there. And he will very humorously would say, when Newton was lying down there under the apple tree, the apple fell on his nose and fell down. He started to wonder, why did it fall down? So his friend said, because he asked the friends, why is that apple falling down? The friends very seriously looked at him and said, it is always falling down. Even your grandfather's too, it was falling down. What is your question? But Newton wanted to know why, right? And then he came to have that understanding of the law of gravity, etc. So even before anybody discovered whatever is there in this world, it was there. Only when we have fine-tuned our mind, we started to question it and try to understand it. Do you think the most distant star went unnoticed until you discovered the sophisticated telescopes? Do you mean to say telescope discovered this? Telescope created the star? No, the star was already there. You started to see with your technological advancement. In the same way, in this creation, so many things are already there which we don't know. And who created it? The one who had already made is most intelligent than anybody else. He is more intelligent than anybody else in this world. And he takes care of it. And he keeps certain things as secret because if you come to know, you will destroy it. So certain things he will hide it. Not for you. Because if you know it, you will come to destroy it also. Pashunam pate pashum mam sarv. That's why the word sarvajna. Sarvajna means what? Sarvam janasi tvam. You know everything. Because the whole creation you created, how can anything that you created would be unknown to you? Pashum mam sarvajna pradita kripaya palaya vibho. Therefore, all-knowing you, what I am capable of, you only will know. I don't have any of these skills which are recognized by the king, but I don't know what I am qualified for. Therefore, I surrender unto you. Please protect me and make me discover what my potential is. Hanumanji did not know what a power he has got. Right? He did not know that he can leap the ocean, leap and go across the ocean. Did he know that? No. Bhagavan ke liye kar raha hu. But what a power that he has become the predecessor of all the Superman, Spider-Man, whatever, Ant-Man, Iron Man, Hanuman. He was the first predecessor of all of this. He set the trend first. So that was because he completely surrendered. I don't know anything, you take care of this. So, hey, Pratita Kripaya, with your well-known compassion. See, one more thing is, in Chandogya Upanishad, Narada, Narada is known to be the son of Brahmaji. But Brahmaji had 4 more sons before him. They are called Manasa Putra, the mind-born children of Brahmaji. And Brahmaji's act being, Brahmaji's role being creation. What he thought, my mind-born children will become the creators, Prajapatis. So he thought that they will be taking over from his position, and I retired. That's what every father thinks. My son will take over. I can retire. But these four mind-born children of Brahmaji, they became rishis from the day one. Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanandana, Sanat Kumaras. They were totally disinterested in that whole profession of creation. As soon as they were born, Bhagavan now, they disappeared into Aham Brahmasmi. So he was very, very unhappy about this. So then Narada was born. Narayana, he also went. And Narada was very, very smart. So he learned everything under the sun. All the 64 kalas he learned. But still unhappy. So he came to Sanat Kumaras, who are very kind of, very well established in Swarupa Anand, in their own nature of being blissful. So they were in great joy, living in total contemplation. So he went to them and said that I have learned so many things in my life, but I am still feeling discontent. Rigvedam Bhagavo Adyemi Yajurvedam Samavedam Atharvanam Chaturtam Idihasa Puranam Panchamam Vedam Pityam Rashim Devam Nidhim Vako Vakyam Ekayanam Devavidam Brahma Vidyam Bhuta Vidyam Shatra Vidyam Nakshatra Vidyam Sarpa Deva Jana Vidyam Etat Bhagavo Adyemi. All of them I know. Soham Bhagavo Mantravidavasmi na Atmavid. Aham Mantravid na Atmavid. I know all the rituals, but I don't know who I am. See, in our case also, we may know many, many things, but interesting thing is, we don't know who we are. Is it not true that when we come to have a person in our life, whether you are going to get married to a person, would you not like to know more than what he is qualified, whatever it is, who this person is, what is his character, what is his value system, what is it? Don't we get curious about that? Because you are going to live with this person. That's why they do living relationship. This is a living relationship. Because they want to know, closely observing, what this is all about. And then after 4 years, I don't think I can marry. So two people were living together for almost 10 years. One day that girl asked to the boy, why not we get married? And he said, who will marry us? Fundamental question, yeah. Even the other person whom we want to live with, we want to know the Buddha. Now we are living with ourselves without knowing who we are. Such a tragedy. Not only in this life, many lives. Many lives are passed, still we don't know who we are. Mantra Vedosmi na Atmavid. Finally confesses, I don't know who I am. Shrutam hi eva me Bhagavan. I have learned this. What? Shokam Atmavid iti. Tarati Shokam Atmavid iti. Only the person who knows oneself alone can truly cross over the ocean of sorrow. Tarati Shokam Atmavid. The person who knows oneself clearly alone can be free of sorrow. That's why Bhagavan in Bhagavad Gita, beginning with that point. Shochan Anvashocastvam. you are worried about something you should not worry about. Shuch means to worry. Shoka, the word shoka came from shuch, shochati. One who worries. What is the worry about? Who am I? What is this mind? What kind of thought would come to me? What is my priority? What is happiness? Where am I to find the permanency in my life? Everything seems to be fleeting. Ashochananvashochasvam prajnavadatsya bhashase. And a man of such correct knowledge, he does not worry about what is coming and going, temporary things. Gadasum agadasumscha nanushocanti pandita. And last part, what he said, ma shucha. Don't worry. Karmakona matata. So that I think Lion King song is coming from Gita only. Hakuna matata. Don't you worry. Bhagavan Krishna said long time back. But because worry is about what? What I am uncertain about. So my mind does not have a clarity about who I am, and I am living with the one whom I don't know. Think. So here, tarati shokam atmavididi soham bhagavah shochami tam mam bhagavan shokasya param tarayatu iti. So therefore, give me that knowledge. Give me that knowledge where I discover who I am. So even Narada, who is Brahma's own son, must be taught correctly by the people, by those sons of Brahma who are all Atmanishtaha. In the Dakshinamurti picture form, you see the four sadhus who are sitting in front of him, they are the four sons of Brahma. Sanaka, Sanatana, Sanandana, Sanat Kumaras. So, Koham, I don't know. So the first qualification for a devotee, true devotee of God, is surrender to the Lord and not to be proud of what you know, because truly speaking, you don't know. You just don't know who you are. Anything else you know is external. If you have not known who you are, other things are useless. You may be having all the possessions, all the comforts, all the other things, but you will be deprived of your own nature. As first day itself I told you that your own true nature of Ananda, you are deprived and you will be constantly groping in the darkness looking for it. Oh, what a tragedy that is. With all the possible comforts and other things, our Gurudev used to say, Swami Chinmayananda used to say, in India you are uncomfortably unhappy, in here you are comfortably unhappy. This is the difference. There I am uncomfortably unhappy because there is no power, there is no power for electricity, there is no water. Now here everything is there, still the unhappiness continues. Now, interesting thing is, there is a story about a great devotee of the Lord who does not have any so-called qualification which is said to be for a student, or even a devotee who will have a deity at home and where he or she is doing the rituals of worship and chanting mantras and offering flowers, offering Naivedyam and all that thing, he doesn't even do that. Nothing. He has no idea what mantras to chant, what flowers to offer, how to do puja, how to do abhishek, nothing he knows. But For him, Bhagavan gave darshan. Bedara Kannappa in Karnataka, you know that. He's also become a Nayanar. Nayanars are those, the saints of Shaivism. And here is here Sankaracharya praises him. See this. Next one. Margavartita Paduka Pashupadehi Angasya Kurchayate Gandushambunishejanam Puraripo Divyabhishekayate Kinchit Bhakshidamamsa Sheshakapalam Navyopaharayate Bhakti kim na karotyaho Manacharo Bhaktavatam sayate Margavartita Paduka Pashupaderangasya Kurchayate Kandushambudnishechanam Puraripo Divyabhishekayate Kinchit Bhakshidamamsa Sheshakamalam Navyopaharayate Bhakti kim na karotyaho Vanacharo Bhaktavatam sayate. So, this particular story we find about this Nayanar. The Shaivite saints are known as Nayanars or Nayanars. Interesting thing is, once I was coming out of the LA airport and one lady, a white lady, wearing sari, she came running to me. And obviously she looked like she is belonging to the ISKCON or any other such, one of those. She stopped right in front of me and looked at me. Are you a Shaivite or a Vaishnavite? I stopped. I'm not a white. Because this branding of Shaivite, Vaishnavite, unnecessary. So this is Shaivite saint. So they are the devotees of Shiva. And they are Nayanar because they are saintly. And what is the qualification of Kannappa Nayanar? A unquestionable devotion to God without knowing none of the procedures of puja. So he says here, Bhaktim Bhaktihi Kim na karoti. What devotion cannot do? Aho, Vanachara. Bhaktavatam Sai, even a forest dweller who has no culture, no pre-qualification, no tradition, no mantras, nothing, uneducated, brute, totally illiterate, devotee. Nayama, he becomes a saint. How? So it is said that once there was in the deep forest, there was a Shiva mandir. In the Shiva's places are mostly inaccessible place only. He goes to places where others cannot go easily. He always wants to hide himself in very inaccessible areas only. So, it's in a deep forest there was one temple of Shiva. It's a very temple in the forest. Like if you go to what do you call that? In Maharashtra you have, what is it called? Bhima Shankar. If you really want to go there, you just have to search for it. In the earlier times now, it is obviously, there are steps to go. But even now it is very ancient and very rusty only, they kept it. So, there was such a kind of a temple, not temple, just a Shivalinga was there. Probably some statue roof. And somebody from a village, a priest, used to go every day and clean up the place because it's in an open area, so you would clean up everything and do the Abhishekam, chanting, Rudram, Chamakam, etc. And forest flowers you will offer, and the food that you would prepare, or some fruits that you picked up on the way, offer it, and show the arati, and then you would come back home. This is his routine. Once it so happened, one forest dweller, and he was going by in that area, and he saw this particular Shivalinga there. He was quite attracted by that, form, and he stood there looking at it. Somehow his heart was filled with so much of joy looking at it. And he felt that something I am connected to this. It is similar to what Ramana Maharshi felt when he was told about Tiruvannamalai. He has never been there. But the very thought of, or the very statement, there is a place called Tiruvannamalai where Bhagavan Shiva's abode is there, somehow he felt that I must go there. And then he left everything and went. He did not even know where to go, how to go. So when he looked at the form of that Shivalinga there, his heart was welled up with joy. So he looked at it and sat there. And looking at it for a long time, he said that somehow I am getting connected to this form of whatever it is. I feel that I have to do something about it. So next day, when the puja was done by the priest and he went away, and the hunter here, he had already hunted down some deer or something, the meat was there with him. So, and he brought that meat with him, which is now filled with blood also. He brought that. And he found that the place was with the flowers, etc., it's already decorated. So he said, let me clean up that first before I offer to God, offer to this form. So, but he did not have any vessel or anything, so there was a stream that was going on. So since he had his hand filled with the meat, so he said, okay, he took the water in his mouth and came and spit on the form. To clean it up. Then he offered the meat in front of that Lord and sat down and said, no, this much only I can offer, this is what I have got. Oh Bhagavan, you take it. Waited for some time and he went. Next day the priest came, he was alarmed. He saw meat was kept in front of him, blood was there, and then all the flies and all this. What? Who would do this kind of a desecration of that God? Somebody who wanted to insult Bhagavan, immediately chanting some mantras, he completely cleaned the place, brought some water, poured water on it, cleaned up completely, and then he offered the flowers and asked for forgiveness of the Lord, and then he went. Next day again this hunter came down, looked at the flowers. He thought that is unnecessary. He removed everything again. Put the meat and again brought the water from his mouth and he. And interesting thing is that he wanted to give a form for the dress for the Lord because he felt that it is really sitting in the middle of the nowhere. So he took his shoes, slippers, and put that as a decoration there. and went away. Next day, that fellow came. This is getting worse every day. Somebody has put the foot, what do you call it? The slippers and meat. He did not know what to do. He again cleaned up the whole place. Next day he thought that after his puja he was hiding. Let me find out who this person was doing this. Lo and behold, this hunter came with this meat in his hand. He was about to jump on him and just said, let me see what he does. Again, as usual, he brought water. This fellow was getting jittery. And he put his, slippers around. It was lying down there. He picked up and then put it again. And he was offering the meat. This fellow was looking at him. What is he doing? And that Bhagavan's Leela is different, right? So, as he was offering the food, he suddenly found the eye of the Lord, which is marked with some kind of a mark there in the Shivalingam. One eye, the blood started coming out. So he wiped it with his hand. Again it was coming. Because he thought it may be from the meat. Cleaned up, still the blood was coming out. He said, what's wrong? Blood? That means Lord has lost his eye or what? Because blood is coming out. So how can I leave him without the eyes? So he took his arrow and plucked his eyes. And took his eye and put it there. As soon as he put his eye there, the blood stopped. He was like, no, that is really good. And he was about to leave, he found the other eye started having bleeding. Oh, now what do I do? Only one eye is got. Now if I take out the eye, I do not know where to put. Right? So he decided to put his foot as a mark on the other eyes, so that you know where exactly to place the eye. And he was able to poke his other eye with the arrow. Bhagavan appeared. Shiva, stop. Enough. So he said, who are you? And the Lord said, I am the one whom you are worshipping. See, all those people who have been worshipping me, they are worshipping only the stone. You are the only one who understood that I am alive. See, it's interesting when we go to a temple, there is Shivalinga. But do you really feel it is Shiva? Huh? If you have the feeling that it is Lord Himself, you will have no word to utter. You will just sit down, look at Him. But we are so busy of only rituals. We chant the mantras, we offer the flowers, we offer the fruit, or offer this prasad in such a way that it is little far away from the Lord, so that you won't take. And the two, if you have done 100 modakas, only one will be kept in front of him. Because in case if he eats, only one will be reserved. See, we do not have that feeling. It is Bhagavan himself is sitting there. Whereas this uneducated, illiterate Kannappa, who is later on known as Kannappa, but he was only a hunter. He felt it is Bhagavan, the Lord, a alive being there. And as much as what he was eating, and that's what he was offering, nothing else. So Bhagavan appeared and said, you are the only person whom I found that you are feeling that I am here. And the person who was there in the hideout, he was completely shocked. How many years I have been doing puja here? Not once he appeared. For him, and offering such dirty things and vomiting water into that and putting his feet onto the Lord. And of course he was moved by the act of him removing his eye and putting it there. He was totally, shocked. And there he came out of his hiding, fell at the hunter's feet. He said, "You are greater devotee than me." Because of which Bhagavan has appeared himself. So Bhagavan Bhagavan Shiva appeared in front of him and said, "You are much more than any other saint. So you will be known hereafter as Kannappanayana." So that is the story here. Marga avartida paduka. Marga avartida means what is used for walking on the path. Paduka are the foot slipper. Sandals becomes Pashupadehe of Pashupati. Angasya kurchayate. Kurcha means the grass. The kusha grass that is usually offered to Bhagavan Shiva as the decoration or as the clothing. His own foot or the sandals have become the offering as a grass. Kandushambhu nishechanam. Kandusha, the water that is kept in his mouth, that became nishechanam. Puraripoho divya abhishekayate. Ayate means it has become what? The abhisheka for the Lord is none other than the water which was spit by that Veda. Kinchit bhakshita mamsa. That mamsa or the meat that he brought, he's already tasted it before giving it to him. Bhakshita mamsa. It is already half-consumed meat itself. Sesha kavalam. Sesha kavalam, what is left behind? A portion of it. Navyopaharayate. Navyopahar. Naivedyam when you say. Navyopahar means the fresh food for the Lord. Bhakti kim na karoti. Aho. What devotion cannot do. You don't need to have the qualification of being a scholar, have read all the mantras, or chanted all these things, or so many rituals and so many flowers. Bhagavan also says, Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prechati tadaham bhakti upahrutam ashnami. Gurudev used to say, Bhagavan Krishna was very foresighted. Pushpam phalam toyam, we understand. Pushpam, Palam, fruit, toyam, water. Patram is currency notes. All checks. He has already made that clear at that time itself. I accept any currency if you want to put it. Therefore, but it has to be given with devotion. Bhakti upagradam ashnami. So even if a little flower you offer or fruit of your but when you do it with devotion, that devotion is what I take. Because what is not his that you can give? If you are bringing the flower from there, the garden, and bring it here, Bhagavan, आपके लिए दे रहा हूँ, तेरा तुझको अर्पण. क्या ले? कहाँ से लेके है? आपकी garden से. It's already mine. Where are you bringing it here? If I come to your home and your garden, I pick up a flower. Where did you get that from? And when we go to temples in India, flower garland I am offering. Who did the flower garland? Somebody else. What did you do? You paid money and took the garland. Did you go and pick up the flower and with the Bhagavan's name in your mind, did you make the garland? Then it is else. So what is seen by the Lord or what is taken by the Lord is devotion. Bhaktim bhakti kim na karodyaho Pashupate vanacharo Bhaktavatam sayate. So even though it is such a rustic devotee, one who did not have any kind of qualification, no samskaras at all, yet what made him even a saint is implicit, innocent, unsullied, pure, immaculate devotion. Innocent devotion. And he didn't see that it is just a stone. He saw the Lord himself. So that is what makes a devotee able to, by just very looking at the form of the Lord, the eyes filled with tears. Why? Because who am I worshipping? Who am I worshipping? Not a stone. Do you say, Om Stonaya Namaha, Om what do you call that? Concretaya Namaha, Om Granitaya Namaha. No, you say Shivaya Namaha, Maheshwaraya Namaha. That's enough. So you are worshipping the Lord, even though form is only stone. You don't see the stone in. Let us say that you have your American friend coming with you, and there is a beautiful form of wooden Krishna standing there with a flute and a cow next to him. For him, it's only a sculpture or a wooden, some what do you call that? Some art creation or artifact. So you will ask, who is this guy? And he has a guy, but he's not the guy. It's Krishna. Who is that? For him, it is just another person standing there with a cow. But for you, it is not some ordinary person. So where is devotion? Tell me. Where is the God? Is it in that form or in your head? If it is in the form, he also should see. So that the understanding that it is God is an emotional connection and identification that would occupy your mind. Thereby you are able to see the presence of the Lord even in an insignificant wood or a stone. That is called Nikrishta Vastuni, Utkrishta Buddhihi Bhaktihi. In the most insignificant thing also, when your mind is able to project the idea of the Lord, that is the upasana. Nikrishta Vastuni, Utkrishta Buddhihi. Whether it's Shaligrama or a Shivalinga, form doesn't matter, but what you are able to look at that is devotion. Bhakti kim na karodyaho manacharo bhaktavatam sayate. So that is the qualification of a devotee. The first qualification, as we saw, what is that? Do not ever be proud of what you know. Surrender to Him and accept that you don't know anything else. He alone can protect you. Second is, your love should be absolutely pure and innocent. After all, the devotion is the state of mind, how it looks at the form of the Lord and does not look at the material thing, but that very form that is there, sitting there in the temple or anywhere else. You are able to project the thought of God. See, that way if you look at it, if you are a devotee of Krishna, if you go to Guruvayur, it is only Krishna. If you go to Vrindavan, it is Radha Krishna. If you go to Puri, it is Puri, Jagannath. Is it not true that even though forms are different, but Krishna is the same? Make out different names, Srinath you call it. Then if you go to Dwarakadish, he was a king there. And if you go to Vrindavan, it is different. If you go to Guruvayur, it is different. But Krishna is the same. Doesn't matter which form it is. Actually in Puri, if you go to that form, is made of what? Made of wood. If you go to Badri, it is what? You can't even see that form. It so happened once, it is very interesting. Our Gurudev, before he took sannyas, Swami Ishwarananda had said, I am going to give you sannyas all right, but you go to Badrinath, stay 2 months there and do tapas. So Gurudev, he himself has said in one of the talks, so he went to Badrinath. And Badrinath is a very highly, it's one of the most important dhama of Bhagavan Vishnu, where the form is very small of Bhagavan Vishnu. But it is so decorated so well that you can see. Many of the Kerala temples also, if you go, they don't put a floodlight on all those things. It's usually dark. But the way they decorate with kavalam, what is known as the sandalwood paste, they make the face and the eyes and all that. Then you will see the form. Otherwise, you won't see that form. There is no decoration. If you go to any authentic Kerala temple, there will be no decoration at all. No ornaments you will see. It's all done out of chandan and then haldi and etc. That's how they make the face of the Lord, the form of the Lord. So Badrinath, even today, the main priest is from Kerala only. They are descendants of Sankaracharya. So he went there and he used to sit there and meditate at the form of the Lord. And one day it so happened that there was a traveler from some European country. He came there and he was looking at the whole temple and all that, and then he saw one young man sitting there, the temple. He seemed to be an educated person, so he went, sir, yes. That one you are looking at, what kind of a stone is that? That's not a stone, it's God. You may call it a God, but actually it's stone, right? It's only a stone. What kind of stone is that? It's a soapstone or it's a granite stone? So Gurudev said, I don't know. So, can you know, because I'm a travelogue I am doing, I would like to know, am I looking at various temples, etc. I would like to know what kind of a thing it is. So they went to the temples, Devasthanam, the office there, they had the records of what it is, this history of it. Sthala Mahima, what you call it. So there he started to talk and introduced him, and then they were talking. So he came back to the temple. Stone. He can no more concentrate on God. What kind of a stone is that? So his mind was so disturbed. This fellow had put the thought that it's a stone in my head. Now I cannot see Bhagavan Vishnu anymore. He was very disturbed. Anyway, he went back to Rishikesh and afterwards he continued to travel and all that. Years later, he said, almost in the 70s, he went to Rome. And there was a famous church. In that church, they had a huge cross. And people were doing the prayers there. He went to one of them. What kind of a wood is this? Is it teak wood? It's bamboo wood? What kind of wood? They were so, that is Christ! Yeah, that's okay. But what kind of a wood it is made of, the cross? And he felt so happy. And revenge. Now, if you look at physically, it is only a wood piece, isn't it? One piece like this, one piece like this, finished. But for a Christian, when he looks at the cross, what comes to his heart? Love for God. So when you look at physically, it's only a stone. The thought of God is in your head. Therefore, develop devotion here. Any other rituals you do, you may do, you may not do. But most important, even if you don't do any ritual, that should be Bhagavan who is receiving my prayers. To Bhagavan I am offering everything. He is really physically present there to receive it. That must be maintained. So that is the qualification of the devotee. Bhaktim bhakti kim na karo tyaho vanacharo bhakta gatam sayate. Naratvam Devatvam. Next. No, next. Okay. Jalamadi Matana Taksho Naiva Patala Vedi. Najavana Mrugayayam Naiva Lubdha Praveenah. Ashana Kusama Bhusha Vastra Mukyam Sabaryam. Kadaya Kadamaham Te Kalpayanindu Maule. Jaladi Matana Daksho Naiva Patala Vedi. Najavana Mrugayayam Naiva Lupta Praveenah. Kusuma Bhusha Vastra Mukyam Sabaryam. Kadaya Kadamaham Te Kalpayanindu Maule. Tradition holds that Bhagavan Shiva likes many things. In fact, Bhagavan Vishnu is Alankara Priya. Right? Bhagavan Vishnu likes all kind of ornaments because his wife himself is a Lakshmi. Wife is full of wealth. So if he does not have proper dressing, she will scold him to death. So he has to wear all possible ornaments and this and that. So Vishnu is Alankara Priya. If you go to Balaji and other places, so many things, ornaments and dress and colors and flowers and decorations and whatnot. Bhagavan Shiva, he doesn't need anything. But yet, people have to offer something. That's how they offer their love or they show their love. When it is your wife's birthday, what do you give love? Happy birthday. Now what is the flower got to do with birthday? It's a way of expressing your love. Similarly, he says here that Kadamaham te kalpayani. How do I procure things for you? Indu mole. The one who has crescent moon on your head. Kadaya, tell me. Tell me, how am I going to offer things to you? I do not have the skills to procure things which you want. What are the things you want? Very interesting. Jaladi matana daksha na eva aham garalam datum samartha. Garalam, yesterday we saw poison. I don't know how to give you poison. I can only give payasam. Which you don't want. You want poison? Garalam dattum datum asamartha. I cannot give you poison. Now, jaladi madana daksha na ayam. Na eva aham. I am not the one who is capable of churning the Milky Ocean and get a poison for you to drink. I don't know how to do that. I am not capable of that. Second, Patada Vedi na aham. I am not the one who can break the Patada. Patada means the lower part of all the worlds. We know that there are 14 worlds which is said to be in our Puranas. We are in the middle somewhere. Bhuhu. Then above are Bhuvaha, Swaha, Maha, Janaha, Tapaha, Satyam. Satyam is considered as the highest point in the higher worlds. They are called higher worlds. Then there are 7 lower worlds known as nether worlds. So, Atala, Vitala, Rasatala, Talatala, Mahatala, Patala. Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Talatala, Patala. Patala is the lowest one. And who are the residents of the Patala? Snakes. Okay, so he says, Na aham Patala Vedi. I am not the one who is able to break into the Patala. Nagavarnam Katam Tubhyam Arpayami. How do I offer you for your ornaments? How will I offer you snakes? I am not capable of that. And you are wearing the skin of a tiger. Manamrikayayam naiva duddha praveenaha. I am not skilled enough to destroy or kill a lion to get the skin out of it and give you. Katam tava gaja charmambaram datum samartaha. How will I even give the skin of an elephant for you to wear? I am not capable of that. He Indu Mole. Oh, the Lord who has crescent moon, and he said, Ashana kusuma bhusha vastra mukyam sabaryam kadamaham te kalpayani. How do I come to procure all these things for you to ashana? Ashana means to drink or to take as a food. And the flowers, kusuma, bhusha, ornaments, vastra, the clothing, mukyam, saparyam, all other things, kadamaham te kalpayami. How do I give all other things? So, even without any one of them, would you accept me as a devotee? See, we always think that giving all these things will make Bhagavan happy. Understand, he is happy anyways. It is like that, the children when they are small, the mothers, they decorate the child in such a way it is tortured. The child is happy even without a cloth. Runs around. You are running around, come here and catch hold of him, make him take a shower and put a powder and the chandan, kumkum and that will look like a doll. Does he need it really? He is so happy with any one of them. Similarly, Bhagavan doesn't need any one of this. But then for our satisfaction, we offer all that. Because usually there is a criticism, right? Oh, so much of milk is used for offering to the gods, such a waste. Especially people who, environmentalists, they will say that you are offering so much of milk and it's just running there, going out, and it is waste. At least give it to the poor people, they will at least be surviving because of that milk. You know one thing? Most of the milk that are stored in all these shops, after some days, where do you think they are going? Where do you think it's going? They are dumped in the ocean. Do you know that? Where the expired will go? Tell me. Do they give it to the poor people? To the homeless? Do you think? Huh? Is it not then waste? And interestingly, all these cows are fed and overfed to create more and more milk. Unconsumed, where does it go? Wasted. And understand one more thing, in this context I will try to bring it in. The amount of food that is being fed for the cows is 70 times more than human consumption. The most of the food that are created in this world are used only to feed animals and take milk out of them and make mamsa, or what you call to create meat. So where does the word? So when a devotee, out of love for God, when he offers a cup of milk, is that a waste? That is how he wants to offer. Just like you decorate the child even though he does not want. Similarly, a devotee, according to his ability, and that is how he wanted to express his love for the God, he offers the milk or yogurt, etc. That should not be criticized as waste. It is how that person wants to express his love for God. If you are thinking that offering milk to Shivalinga is a waste, then go to all the stores and take all the milk and give it to all the homeless. So devotion for a devotee can be expressed in many ways, and a devotee can express through offering the ornaments or offering the food or offering the milk, offering the flowers, offering the Naivedya. If you have gone to in eastern part of the country or India, or if you go to some of the countries in the east, you will find in front of Buddha cookies.
Yeah.
You see that? They bring cookies and cakes made of egg only, cakes, cookies, pastries, chocolates, biscuits. Because that's what they offer. They don't have the concept of offering flowers and fruits and other, because that doesn't grow there. So here, Bhagavan Shiva, what does he want? Garalam. Where do I go for that? It's poison. And the skin of an elephant. Where do I go for that? Snakes. Bhagavan, I cannot offer that. So, do not disqualify me to be a devotee. All that I can offer, everything is in my mind. That's why there is a Shiva Manasa Puja. Right? What is that verse? Ratnai kalpidamasanam himajalehi snanam cha divyambaram nana ratna vibhushitam mrigamam podamkitam chandanam jati chambaka bilva pattarachitam pushpai dhupam tada deepam devadayanide pashupate hritkalpitam krisyatam. When you can't offer it physically, easiest way. Bhagavan is not an act. I am thinking everything in my mind. A beautiful golden throne. You are not going to spend the money on that. You can offer anything in your own mind itself. Bhagavan accepts that also. Anyway, kena prakarena manashive nivedayet, shivam nivedayet. Any way you want, keep your mind in Bhagavan. That's what the idea of a devotee. Now comes the next one. So if bhakti is there, which form you worship, it doesn't matter. So that we'll see in the next session. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kasyid dukkhamat bhaved. Om shanti shanti shanti. Hari Om Shri